Usually, nuns are the holiest and purest in the Catholic Church, but harbored the most astonishing and disgusting secrets. Beyond the convent walls, a world of intrigue and revulsion awaits, offering a glimpse into the untold chapters of these enigmatic women. In this video, we bring you the most disgusting secrets lives of nuns in history. Some of the sexual acts they have with priests and parishioners are coerced, while others are voluntary. A priest or nun's vow of celibacy is one of the greatest sacrifices they can make for the Church. Christ is the husband of the nuns. They would rather devote their lives to God than marry. However, many nuns struggle to live out their religious commitment on a daily basis. Despite its emphasis on sanctity and chastity, the Catholic Church has had its share of monastic scandals. Why then do nuns have such a notorious and suspect past? Sit back and relax as we reveal the most disgusting secret lives of nuns in history. Warning: this video contains some material that some viewers may find upsetting or objectionable. Controversial events. Occasionally, scandalous affairs have occurred within the purportedly holy confines of the monastery. Chastity-vowing nuns often engage in sexual misconduct, sometimes with priests and sometimes with other nuns. They result in broken vows and ruined reputations because these illicit relationships test the fundamental foundations of their religious calling. History is littered with examples of scandalous relationships taking place within convents. Some lonely nuns who longed for human contact developed close relationships with the priests who frequently visited their convents. These illicit pairings resulted in shady encounters, unplanned babies, and more. Scandal and humiliation spread far and wide after such events, hurting not only the people involved, but the entire religious community. Viewer discretion is advised for the nuns in Rome due to distressing or otherwise offensive content. Sometimes involving as many as 3 people, sexual initiation ceremonies were performed on the Sant'Ambrogio della Massimo Nuns of Rome. Even when the conference's creator, Maria Agnes Ferrario, was let go, other nuns stepped up to run it. By the 1850s, Maria Luisa, the mistress of novices, had fabricated letters purportedly from the Virgin Mary, enforced lewd trysts between herself and the nuns, and threatened anybody who questioned her authority. In his research on the nuns of Sant'Ambrogio, scholar Hubert Wolff uncovered decades-old illegal realities that had been concealed in the Vatican archives. The extent to which these nuns went to conceal their crimes is even more astounding. Leader of the newbies, the abbess at the convent of Sant'Ambrogio Ferrario, where Ferrario had been the founder in the 1850s, was removed from her post because of the sisters' promotion of her as a false idol. Maria Luisa, who replaced Rao as mistress of the novices, arranged to see her charges at night. One of the nuns said that Maria Luisa would wrap herself about her and suggest that she lie with her legs raised. Moving her hands and making a noise she couldn't identify, she instructed me to get into a position where I could absorb her bodily fluids. Maria Luisa claims that these fluids have curative properties. The novices were instructed to lie on their bellies, face to her, as part of the initiation ritual. The novices' mistress, Maria Luisa, wasn't just cheating on them with the other nuns. The Jesuit confessor at the convent where she was having an affair was another man. When asked about their late-night get-togethers, they said they were only talking to God, and nobody should worry. Maria Luisa's plan to put the confessor to sleep with fake letters from the Blessed Virgin Mary worked. Maria Luisa encouraged the novice Maria Francesca to write the holy letters because of her beautiful handwriting. The confessor, who had previously jumped into bed with Maria Lucia, was soon joined by the rest of the nuns in obeying the sanctified rules. Tell all your secrets. The convent's namesake, Maria Agnes Ferrario, was embroiled in several scandals at the turn of the 19th century. Ferrario was a trusted advisor to Pope Leo Valten's spiritual life until her scandals surfaced. In addition to having an affair with her confessor, Ferrario also had a tryst with that person and another nun. She had 2 abortions after being artificially pregnant by church leaders. Incredibly, the Inquisition did not shut down Maria Agnes's convent after she lost her post as abbess in 1816. Instead, the illegal activity continued behind closed doors. One of the confessors at Sant'Ambrogio was keeping something from the others. He was hiding behind an alias. His true identity was that of Joseph Kluken, a famous theologian and counselor of the Pope. During the Inquisition trial, the confessor admitted having multiple sexual encounters with Maria Lucia. The nun Cleuchen began an affair with in 1848. Cleuchen tried to defend himself by saying that their relationship was purely spiritual and not sexual. Cleuchen was dismissed from his post as a confessor hearing officer and sentenced to 2 years in a Jesuit house after he admitted his guilt to the Inquisition. First sexual experience, Maria Lucia instituted a number of radical reforms, including allowing sexual initiation for novice nuns. At the climax, Maria Lucia told the nuns that they might enjoy the blessings contained in her body fluids. Throughout the trial, Maria Lucia admitted that Ferrario, the founder of the respected order, had used similar methods to pass on his miraculous elixir to her and other novices. If any novices had argued against the rites, they would have been invited to spend the night in Maria Lucia's cell, where they would have contracted an unknown illness and died. Katharina, the princess. Princess Katharina von Hunzel and Sigmaringen had already been through 2 divorces by the time they were 36 years old. After visiting the Sant'Ambrogio convent in Rome, the princess decided to become a nun rather than return to her home country of Germany. However, the princess soon uncovered strange goings-on and became fearful for her safety. The princess secretly transmitted a message reading, "Only save me," in an unfamiliar typeface. After learning of the illegal and repressive actions of the abyss, she believed Maria Lucia was trying to kill her. During her Inquisition trial, Maria Luisa faced charges of murder, adoration of a false saint, and homosexual affairs. But one crime she committed during the course of her trial stood out from the rest. Allegedly, Maria Lucia took part in an erotic ceremony that was billed as a Jesuit blessing, according to testimony from witnesses. The founder of the convent, Maria Agnes Ferrario, secretly blessed its members with French kisses and other intimate acts. According to one eyewitness, the male confessor made the sign of the cross on the victim's throat. Once in a while, he'd stick his tongue deep within the penitent's lips and give them a kiss on the heart. While bent before the confessor, no one ever went into a trance-like state to receive the benediction. Divine directives, so to speak. Maria Luisa decided to permanently remove the critic after showing an explicit letter to the convent's newest member, the twice-widowed German Princess Katharina. Maria Luisa used forgeries of the Virgin Mary's messages to justify her deeds. Maria Luisa was told to end Katharina's life by divine intervention. After many failed efforts, Princess Katharina finally escapes the convent with the help of her cousin. After becoming seriously ill and refusing all food and medicine, Katharina was transported to her family's French chateau to recover. Later, Maria Luisa admitted that she had made the princess ingest opium, mercury, and glass powder. Sant'Ambrogio. Sant'Ambrogio was a relatively new monastery when it began its cover-ups. A nun in her early 30s founded the organization in 1806. Sister Maria Agnes Ferrario was notorious for always appearing in public with an iron mask bearing more than 50 sharpened nails. The creator may have claimed to be a living saint, but she actually caused her own stigmata. Ferrario was again put on trial by the Inquisition in 1816 and declared guilty. Her confessor was accused of helping her seem to be holy. The Inquisition may have been looking for an excuse to shut down Ferrario's convent, even though it stayed open for the remainder of her life. The rest of Ferrario's life was spent in exile. For more than a century, nobody knew what had happened in that convent. The secrets of Sant'Ambrogio have remained hidden even after an Inquisition trial. As we delve deeper into these abyssal adventures, we shift focus to the more disturbing facts of the nuns' past. Thrilling, right? Have you subscribed yet? Be sure to do so now for more interesting revelations like this. Misuse of authority, abuse of power, hidden under the calm authority of some abysses or mother superiors, has been revealed. These high-ranking nuns used their authority to further their own interests and that of the convent as a whole. The abused nuns were frequently subjected to many forms of mistreatment, including physical, emotional, and sexual abuse. Convents are particularly dangerous places because of the potential for power abuse. The nuns were victims of physical abuse, verbal abuse, and psychological manipulation at the hands of abusers motivated by a desire for supremacy or personal fulfillment. Some shocking instances of sexual exploitation have been documented, with defenseless nuns falling prey to predators in authoritative roles. Two disturbing aspects of the history of nuns, religious fanaticism and the suppression of feminine identity within religious institutions. Instances of religious fanaticism among nuns were fueled by fervent beliefs in divine messages or a desire to combat perceived injustices. This led to extreme behaviors, violent acts, and even religious rebellions in certain communities. On the other hand, the suppression of feminine identity within religious life denied women the opportunity to fully express themselves and explore their unique experiences. This perpetuated gender inequalities and reinforced patriarchal power structures. However, it is important to note that not all nuns or religious communities had these experiences, as many lived lives of genuine devotion, service, and empowerment. The intention is to provide a nuanced understanding of the diverse experiences of nuns throughout history, stomach-churning events from the past that you never knew revealed. Click on the next video now to find out more.